Hey Capricorn, I just sat down with my deck and honestly I need to share what came through because this energy around you right now is absolutely wild. So the theme that kept showing up is about closing this month with serious abundance flowing your way. Like golden rivers is actually the perfect description, and I pulled cards specifically to see what this looks like for you. Let me tell you, I shuffled thoroughly and asked the universe to show me what Capricorns need to know about this incredible shift happening as the month wraps up. The cards that came through are so specific, and I cannot wait to break this down for you. Starting with the Ace of Swords, and right away I'm getting major clarity vibes. This card is all about breakthrough moments, those times when suddenly everything makes sense, like puzzle pieces clicking into place. For you Capricorns closing out this month, this is telling me that something you've been confused about or uncertain about is about to become crystal clear. Maybe you've been going back and forth on a decision, maybe there's been brain fog around your next steps, but this Ace of Swords energy is cutting through all that noise. It's bringing you mental clarity that feels almost shocking in how sudden it arrives. Think about those moments when you suddenly understand something that's been bothering you for weeks or months. This card represents that divine download of understanding. The sword cuts away illusion and confusion, leaving only truth. What I find fascinating about this appearing first is that it suggests the abundance coming your way isn't random or luck-based. It's actually connected to you finally seeing a situation clearly and being able to make smart decisions from that place of knowing. The Ace of Swords also represents communication breakthroughs, so some of you might receive news or information that changes everything in a positive way. Could be a contract, could be someone finally telling you something important, could be you speaking your truth and it opening doors. This mental clarity is the foundation for everything else that unfolds. Next card that showed up is the Eight of Swords, and I know what you're thinking. Wait, isn't that a challenging card? But stay with me because context is everything here. The Eight of Swords traditionally shows someone blindfolded and bound, surrounded by swords, feeling trapped. But here's the thing about this card that most people miss. Those bindings are loose. The swords aren't actually blocking every path, and the blindfold can be removed. This card appearing in your reading about abundance tells me that you've been feeling restricted or stuck, like there are limitations around you preventing success or flow. But the message here is that many of those limitations are actually self-imposed or perceptual rather than real. As you move through the end of this month, you're going to realize that what felt like prison walls were actually just thoughts and fears you believed. The golden rivers can start flowing once you recognize you have more freedom than you thought. Some of you have been telling yourselves stories about why success isn't possible right now, why abundance has to wait, why you're stuck in your current situation. This card is saying those stories are about to be revealed as just that, stories, not facts. The victim mentality or the feeling of powerlessness is lifting. You're going to see options you couldn't see before. You're going to realize you can actually take off that blindfold anytime you choose. This pairs so beautifully with that Ace of Swords clarity because once you see clearly that you're not actually trapped, once you understand your true freedom, that's when everything shifts. Moving into the Page of Pentacles now, and this is where we start seeing that golden river energy very literally. Pages represent messages, new beginnings, opportunities, and the Pentacles suit is all about material abundance, money, tangible results. This card is telling me that actual opportunities for income, resources, or material gain are coming your way as this month closes. This could be a job offer, a business opportunity, a chance to learn a skill that will make you money, an investment opportunity, or even just an idea that could become profitable. What I love about the Page energy is that it's fresh and new. This isn't about something you've been working on forever finally paying off, although that could be part of it. This is about new pathways to prosperity opening up. The Page is studious and eager to learn, so some of you might be discovering a new way to generate income that requires you to develop new skills, and you're going to feel excited about that learning process rather than intimidated. This is practical earth energy, very grounded and real. The Page of Pentacles is also about being diligent and committed to building something solid. So while opportunities are coming, they require you to show up consistently and do the work. But the difference is now you can actually see the path forward, clearly thanks to that Ace of Swords. You're no longer feeling trapped thanks to the Eight of Swords revelation, and now here comes a tangible opportunity to pursue. The Knight of Pentacles appears next, and wow, this just amplifies everything. If the Page brought the message and the opportunity, the Knight is about sustained effort and guaranteed progress. Knights represent movement and action, and the Knight of Pentacles specifically moves slowly but surely, like that steady march toward your goals that might not be glamorous, but absolutely gets results. This tells me that as you close this month and move forward, you're entering a phase of real, tangible progress with your material goals. This isn't about overnight success or lottery wins, although honestly, nothing in these cards contradicts that either. This is about building wealth and stability through consistent, reliable effort. The Knight of Pentacles is the most dependable card in the entire deck. When this energy is present, you can trust that if you do the work, results will come. It's as reliable as the sun rising. For Capricorns, this resonates so deeply because you're naturally built for this kind of steady, ambitious climb. You don't need fireworks and drama. You need to know that your effort matters and leads somewhere real. This Knight is confirming exactly that. The golden rivers flowing toward you aren't a flash flood that disappears. They're steady streams that keep coming as long as you keep showing up. Some of you are building businesses, some are climbing corporate ladders, some are developing skills or education that will pay off. This card says keep going, because every single step is taking you closer to the abundance you've dreamed about. There's also an energy of mastery here. The Knight of Pentacles has completely mastered the practical realm, suggesting you're developing real expertise and competence that makes you valuable and compensated accordingly. Now we get the Chariot, and the energy just intensified significantly. The Chariot is a major arcana card, which means this is major life stuff, not small shifts, but significant movement and victory. This card shows a figure in a chariot being pulled by two sphinxes, representing opposing forces being brought under control and directed towards success. For you Capricorns, this is saying that you're about to experience a period of major forward momentum where you're in the driver's seat, steering your life exactly where you want it to go. All the discipline and control that Capricorns are famous for, that's about to pay off big time. The Chariot also represents triumph after struggle, winning after a period of challenge, overcoming obstacles through sheer determination and willpower. If the past months or even years have felt like pushing a boulder uphill, the Chariot says you're cresting that hill and about to experience the momentum of moving downhill, where everything flows easier and faster. This card also has strong energy around travel, movement, vehicles. So for some of you, the abundance coming might literally involve travel or transportation. Maybe a new car, maybe travel for work that's lucrative, maybe relocation to somewhere better. The Chariot is also about confidence and self-assuredness. You're stepping into a version of yourself that knows you're capable and doesn't second guess. Combined with everything else, this suggests the month closes with you feeling powerfully in control of your destiny and direction. The Hermit comes through next, and this might seem to contradict all that Chariot momentum, but actually it adds crucial depth. The Hermit represents inner wisdom, solitude, soul-searching, and finding answers within yourself, rather than looking outward. What this tells me is that part of your success closing out this month and moving forward comes from taking time for introspection and connecting with your inner guidance. The Hermit holds a lantern that lights the way, suggesting you have inner knowing that can guide you if you create space to listen to it. For ambitious Capricorns always focused on external achievement, this card reminds you that your greatest power comes from that connection to inner wisdom. The abundance flowing your way is amplified when you take time to get quiet, reflect, meditate, journal, or whatever helps you access that deeper knowing. The Hermit can also represent a mentor or wise guide entering your life, someone with experience who can show you the way forward. This person isn't going to be flashy or loud. They'll be someone with real depth and wisdom who takes you under their wing. There's also energy here about doing your own research, becoming your own expert, not just following what everyone else does, but finding your unique path through deep investigation and learning. The Hermit is self-sufficient and self-contained, which for Capricorns translates to building success that doesn't depend on others' validation or approval. You're finding your own light and following it. The Tower shows up, and I know this card freaks people out, but in context of everything else here, this is actually incredibly positive. The Tower represents sudden change, breakthrough, liberation through disruption, structures falling away that were never meant to stand. What this tells me is that something in your life that's been blocking abundance is about to crumble or be removed suddenly. This could be a limiting belief system that shatters, could be a situation you thought was permanent suddenly ending, could be an old identity or way of being that you outgrow rapidly. The Tower clears away what's no longer serving you, sometimes gently but often dramatically, to make space for something better. For you closing this month, this suggests that part of why those golden rivers can flow is because obstacles are being removed, sometimes in surprising ways. You might experience something that feels shocking or unexpected but ultimately liberates you. The tower breaks chains and tears down prisons. If you've been stuck in patterns or situations that prevent prosperity, the tower energy sweeps through and changes everything. This pairs perfectly with that Eight of Swords. You're being freed from what bound you. The tower also brings truth to light, secrets revealed, illusions shattered, which connects to the Ace of Swords clarity. You're seeing reality as it actually is rather than through filters of fear or false belief. This might feel uncomfortable initially, but it's necessary for you to step into the abundance waiting for you. Seven of Cups appears, and this card is fascinating in this context. The Seven of Cups shows someone looking at 7 cups floating in clouds, each containing different visions or options, representing choices, possibilities, dreams, but also potential confusion about which path to choose or which opportunity is real versus illusion. What this tells me is that as these golden rivers start flowing, you're going to have multiple options and possibilities presenting themselves. This is actually a really high-quality problem to have. Instead of no opportunities, you're going to be looking at several potential paths forward and needing to discern which ones are truly aligned versus which ones look good but are actually distractions. The Seven of Cups asks you to be discerning and realistic about opportunities. Not everything that glitters is gold. Some of those cups contain treasures, but some contain nothing of real value. This is where that hermit wisdom becomes crucial. You need to connect with your intuition to know which opportunities to pursue. The Seven of Cups also represents dreams and imagination, so you're in a phase where you can envision multiple possible futures for yourself. Let yourself dream big, but then bring it back to earth and ask what's actually achievable and aligned. This card can also indicate that what you've been dreaming about is starting to take form and become possible in reality. Those fantasies of abundance you've had, they're moving from imagination into manifestation, but you need to take concrete action on the right opportunities rather than getting lost in possibility. Four of Pentacles comes through, and this one is interesting because it has different layers of meaning. Traditionally, this card shows someone clutching pentacles tightly, representing security, stability, holding on to resources, but sometimes taken to an extreme where it becomes miserly or fearful. In your reading about abundance closing this month, I interpret this as having two possible messages. First, it could be saying that you're entering a phase of financial stability and security where you actually have resources to hold on to and manage carefully. You're moving from scarcity into having something worth protecting. This is positive. You're building a foundation of security. However, the second layer is a gentle warning not to let fear cause you to grip so tightly that you block flow. Sometimes when we finally start experiencing abundance after a long drought, we get scared it will disappear and we hold on too tight, which actually prevents more from coming in. The universe wants you to know that yes, be responsible with resources, but also trust that more is available. You don't have to operate from fear of loss. The Four of Pentacles can also represent establishing boundaries around your time, energy, and resources. As opportunities flow in, you need to be selective about what you say yes to and protective of what you've built. Not everyone deserves access to your resources or your energy. This card says be stable, be secure, but don't confuse security with rigidity. And the final card, the Nine of Cups, and oh my goodness, this is the wish fulfillment card. The Nine of Cups is called the wish card because it represents satisfaction, emotional fulfillment, getting what you truly want, feeling contentment, and happiness. This card showing up as your final message for closing the month is absolutely beautiful because it confirms that what you've been wishing for, what you've been working toward, what you've dreamed about, it's coming to fruition. The Nine of Cups is about emotional satisfaction alongside material comfort. You're not just getting external success, you're feeling genuinely happy and fulfilled. Your cup is overflowing, your heart is full, you're experiencing genuine joy and satisfaction with life. This card represents a yes from the universe. Whatever you've been hoping for, the answer is yes. It's on its way. You're moving into a phase of having your wishes granted. The Nine of Cups also suggests celebration. So as this month closes, there's going to be reason to celebrate, reason to feel grateful and happy, Reason to recognize how far you've come and how much good is present in your life. This is about abundance on every level, not just money, but also emotional richness, satisfaction, happiness, feeling blessed. The figure in this card sits contentedly in front of 9 cups, representing not just one wish granted, but multiple areas of life feeling abundant and satisfying. So Capricorn, when I look at these 10 cards together, the story is so clear and so positive. You're moving from a place of feeling trapped and unclear into a place of mental clarity and freedom. Opportunities are coming your way. Real, tangible chances to build the abundance you've been working toward. You're entering a phase of steady, reliable progress where your effort directly translates to results. You're taking control of your direction and experiencing major forward momentum. You're connecting with inner wisdom that guides you perfectly. Old structures that limited you are falling away to make space for better. You have multiple possibilities opening up and the discernment to choose wisely. You're building real security and learning to balance, holding on to resources with trusting more will come. And ultimately, your wishes are being fulfilled and you're entering a phase of genuine satisfaction and happiness. The golden rivers flowing toward you are real. This isn't metaphorical. This is about actual abundance manifesting in your material reality. But it's also about so much more. It's about inner freedom, clarity, wisdom, fulfillment on every level. You've dreamed of this, and now it's happening.